This accessory makes the iPad better than the Mac, at least the way I actually use a computer now. And I know that sounds crazy given like the Mac is powerful, you know, M1 Max chip. It has full desktop apps, a better filing system. If I'm editing a full video or managing heavy files, I'm still gonna reach for my Mac. But for writing, planning, journaling, reading, or just like having some quiet time to myself or to my work, the iPad with the Magic Keyboard has really been my main device for that. It just feels better. And not because it's trying to beat the Mac by being the Mac, because it does something the Mac can't do the same way. It takes the calmest device I own and gives it just enough keyboard, trackpad, and posture to become a real thinking machine. So here's the thing about the iPad. It's already enough. You don't need the newest model. You don't need the newest chip. I mean, I've explained this plenty of times in my other videos. You saw my recent iPad video. I rave about this device. It's one of my favorite Apple devices outside of the iPhone. Hell, I might even pick it over the iPhone some days. The value of the iPad isn't in the hardware. It's in the habit it helps you build. But here's where the Magic Keyboard changes the conversation. Without it, the iPad is mainly just my calm screen, my go-to device where I just want to relax and not think about anything. It's great for reading, journaling, consuming content, just slowing down and just forget about everything in life. With the Magic Keyboard, the iPad becomes a different device. It feels like a focused workspace that's lighter than opening a Mac. That's why this video really isn't about turning the iPad into a laptop. This is about the iPad with the right accessory can be actually better than a Mac in certain parts of your life. That's where this came in. Not as an upgrade, but as an unlock. So touch is perfect for what the iPad does best. Reading Apple books, marking a PDF, scrolling slowly through something that you actually care about. The whole reason the iPad feels calm is the touch matches the pace of how I use it most of the time. But the moment I want to type something long, like a script or a Word document, a journal entry that's taken me longer than 5 minutes, pecking at glass turns thinking into typing. The thoughts come faster than my fingers, and the friction breaks the flow state. And in my previous iPads, I've tried cheaper third-party keyboards like the Logitech keyboard, which is really an outstanding keyboard, don't get me wrong. But that keyboard made my iPad seem like a work device or a device that I have to, use when I want to be productive all the time. At that point, it wasn't a tool. It felt like a compromise. And that's why I have the Magic Keyboard now. It doesn't erase what makes the iPad different. It gives the iPad one real thing that it was missing, a real input system. The Mac is a better computer on paper, don't get me wrong. But sometimes the problem with the Mac feels like the second you open it, everything just feels available. So many doors to open, so many options to have. Final Cut, messages, browser tabs that you have from last night, files, downloads, notifications. It's like 100 of tiny doors that open and you don't even know which one you should walk into first. Or better yet, even remember why you even opened it. The iPad doesn't feel like that, to me at least. Even with the Magic Keyboard attached, I still feel focused. One app is front and center. Screen feels intentional. And the whole device still carries the tablet energy. Lighter, quieter, easier to sit down with. That's where it can beat the Mac for me. Not in power, in friction. The Mac is where I finish my heavy work, most definitely. The iPad with the Magic Keyboard is where I start the work, where I think through the work, and surprisingly stay with the work longer than I expected. And this is where it goes from a nice accessory to a real shift in how I use my iPad. Once typing felt good, I'd stop reaching for my laptop for thinking work that I already wanted to do on my iPad anyway. Scripts for these videos, I draft them on my iPad now. Journaling, also on my iPad now. Planning my week in Notion, also on my iPad. It happens on the couch, on my desk, or anywhere I sit my iPad down. The trackpad transforms iPad OS in a way that's hard to explain until you use it. Cursor, gestures, text selection. I can edit my own writing without lifting my hand to the screen. But lifting the hand is convenient, trust me. And the best part is the iPad can still be a computer without the keyboard. You just simply detach it and it's back being a tablet. Reading Apple books, marking up stuff, handwriting good notes, watch something, move around. That type of flexibility can be the reason why it feels better than a Mac. Hell, it is the reason why it's better than a Mac. The Mac is always a Mac, but the iPad can become whatever the moment needs. Okay, so I'm not gonna pretend like this is some type of perfect accessory that's just gonna change your life or anything like that. The Magic Keyboard is heavy. It nearly doubles the weight of the iPad. You can use it at a desk, you can use it at a coffee shop. I will say where it kind of does fail is in the lap. Lapability, just not there for me. But I'm at a coffee shop, I'm at my desk, great device. Like the floating hinge is great on the flat surface, but for some reason on the knees, it just can't hold up. Maybe because I have an 11-inch and the 13-inch might just be better. I don't know. Leave a comment down below if you guys know. And then also the price of this keyboard. This keyboard is expensive as hell. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like $300, I recommend Best Buy Open Box. That's where I got it from. $200, gently used, I'll take it. Honestly, it was barely used. So yeah, some of the downsides, the price and using it in the lap. So no, this doesn't replace the Mac for everything. If you need real desktop apps, heavy multitasking, or full video editing, the Mac still wins, but that's also the point as well. This setup is not trying to win in every category. It's trying to make the iPad better at the work the iPad was already made for. And this is the part that ties back to the rest of my channel. And I said it in my last iPad video, and I'll say it again here. You don't need the newest iPad. You need to actually use the one that you already have. I didn't upgrade my iPad. I made the one that I already own do more. One thoughtful accessory beat one new device. And in a weird way, it almost made me reach for my Mac less. And not because the Mac got worse or anything like that, but because the iPad got good enough for the work that I wanted to do. And that's the move for 2026. The hardware cycle is loud, but the accessory cycle is quiet. And 9 times out of 10, the quiet one is the one that actually changes your life. But when that iPhone Fold drops, that MacBook Ultras, trust me, I'm there. For the reviews, of course. I mean, I might return the device. Because like I said, my laptop, doing good. iPad, good. iPhone, it's doing okay. If you got an iPad sitting on your desk right now and you find yourself reaching for your MacBook, this might be the missing piece. Not because the iPad isn't enough. Trust me, it is. Before you upgrade the device, upgrade what you can do with the device. And before you assume Mac is automatically the better choice, ask yourself this: what kind of work are you actually trying to do? The Magic Keyboard didn't make my iPad a Mac. It made my iPad better than being an iPad. More writing, more journaling, more planning, more reading, more of the slow, intentional work I came to the iPad for in the first place. But now with enough keyboard and trackpad to stay there. The Mac is still the machine I use when I need power, but the iPad is becoming the machine I use when I need focus. And for a lot of my life, focus is the thing I was actually missing. Well guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Love the iPad, love the iPad Pro. I know I say I'm not gonna upgrade my iPad, but eventually I probably will, because I do want a cellular iPad, because I don't wanna keep taking my Mac everywhere to do some serious work, and I don't wanna keep connecting to random hotspots or Wi-Fi, things like that. So make sure you guys drop a like down below, and also leave a comment if you use the Magic Keyboard with any of your iPads, because I know they make keyboards for several iPads. I think they have a keyboard for the iPad mini, I think. Which is kind of crazy because that device is so small. Guys, make sure you hit the notification bell too, so you can get notifications for whenever I post a new video. Hey, it's your boy Real here. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.